It's been a success.
It sure has.
It really has.
Over this way.
Yeah, I'll close that door.
Yeah, there we go.
So before we get going, I just wanted to do a quick video and just give you some tips. Not money tips, because I don't have any to give, but information tips.
Information tips. There's all kinds of tips.
So anyway, this is our 1980 GoldWing. We bought.
Back over here now if the door closed.
We bought what? Maybe 6-7 weeks ago?
Yeah, must be that at least.
Yeah. Well, whenever Labor Day weekend was.
Yeah, September.
And this is October.
Yeah, so I'd say she's a month, 6 weeks, 7 weeks old.
Yeah. Anyway, since I bought it, I've replaced, well, everything. Timing belts, tires, caliper kits, flushed the engine 2 or 3 times to get the gunk out of it. Detailed the engine, took apart everything around here, and you hand sanded it, and I buffed it.
You buffed it.
Yeah, just so much, basically from there to there.
Yeah, you can't really remember it all. It was
No, like
a complete cleanup, wasn't
you
it?
name it, like we've done it, right? So the bike was only supposed to be a job over the winter, taking it easy once in a while. But I got into it and got interested. But I've learned a lot. Even though I've been around these bikes all my life, I didn't get at them in such detail as I have with this one. So a couple of things that I did learn. I learned that you must have good brakes and you must have good steering. So, what else? Well, I've done a bit of wiring, and there's some more videos on this particular bike. Added some safety chrome, some bling. Yesterday we added a pulsar for the rear light. I'll close this door here so they'll be able to see it. So when I get back here, you'll be able to show them. And basically, when you put your brake on,
Yeah.
So
Good.
all the lights have been swapped out to LED lights. There's been videos on that as well. New chrome guards here, compliments of my buddy Don.
Yes.
That's new old stock that he had. Sent it in from Georgia.
Yeah, that worked out fabulous.
Well, it allowed us to keep the forward crash bar on and add the engine guard, which was
Quite a bonus.
it's a big plus, right? What else? All the master cylinders, front and back, has been rebuilt. This one here has had some chrome added to it. New chrome levers. I took off the ugly, big handle grips that they had, and I put these on. These are off our old GL1100.
Oh, nice.
And we just repurposed them.
Yeah.
Same with the end caps, machine those and put those on to balance. We put added bolt gauge on here. You may want to get up closer and show them that, because you really can't really notice it there.
Back there, yeah.
Yeah, so we got some more bling coming from here and just a few other little things, right? What else? We added some bags from Princess Auto.
Yeah, they were lovely.
Yeah, $11 each.
Yeah, $12, $11.99.
Yeah.
So, very nice.
Yeah, they worked out well. We added a little bib here. Down in the back we added another bag as well.
That's right.
The
Never have too many bags.
No, that's a fact. When we bought the bike, it had these things on.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They don't belong to that bike. They worked okay. It originally had air suspension in the back. So I said to the elderly gentleman that I bought the bike from, well, it's too bad I don't have his original.
Yeah, that's right.
And he said, oh, I have them in the shed, but they're no good. He said, they leak, right? I said, oh no, I can rebuild them. So that's her original air suspension there, and they work perfect now.
Oh yeah.
And the new tires, the other tires were cracked and crazed.
Yeah, because she'd been parked.
Yeah.
She just need to be re-energized, revitalized.
Well, you know, it looked good,
Yeah.
but it wasn't good.
No, no.
It wasn't really safe.
Internally, it was a little bit
Yes, yeah.
tired.
He had a big old gold stripe here that I really didn't think too much of. Kathy added all of this design. Well, Kathy cuts them, but Kathy don't like applying them.
No.
So I apply them. Yeah.
You apply.
And we got some LED lighting on it and stuff that we'll show you later on in another video when we finally get it all done. Another big thing that I did do with it, and from 1975 when the GoldWing was first introduced to up to I think 1983, they never had a fork brace on them. So the forks could twist and do kind of crazy things on turns and stuff. So I added a fork brace here last week, or no, this week. Actually, it was only a couple of days ago. So I added the fork brace as well. So, and although I've only had it for a very short run, you could certainly notice the difference. It was amazing, actually. So
Yeah, you might get a chance to test it all out today, even though
right, yeah, because yesterday it was all apart, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's what this video is about, is what we did with it yesterday. One of the things that, well, they call these engines a boxer style engine. And what they mean by boxer is the pistons are.
Yeah. Oh, boxing.
Yeah. See, it's side on, eh?
Yeah.
BMW has them like that, and Porsche has them, Subaru has them, and Honda had them. Right? They still got them. I mean, our 1800 has a boxer type engine. One of the things I didn't like about this particular bike is on startup it would smoke. And it would smoke probably, this one here would smoke up to about a minute and a half. Then it would clear up.
Yeah.
And then fellas were saying, well, you know, they all do it and it's this and that. And I said, well, okay, they all do it, fine. But it's really bugging me. So I said, well, I got to investigate it. So yesterday, and the day before, I stripped the heads off it. Not the head, sorry. The valve covers off it. I took the rad out of it. I took the covers off the timing belts. I took the timing belts off. And we went to it. And basically, I'll go get a little bit of gear and I'll show you exactly what we used. Now, when you're doing valve stem oil seals on these things, a couple of little tricks. One of the little tricks is to make sure that you have a certain amount of preparation done. In other words, make sure you got the right tools. Now, when you let the timing belts go, you have to have some way of keeping your valves up to your head when you start to remove valve springs. If you don't, it's possible that the valve could drop down in the engine and hit the piston, right? So you don't want that going. That's nasty stuff. So what I did is I just made up this ear chuck, which is still dirty from yesterday. Oh my gosh. Anyway.
Well, it's real life, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, what enticed me to do the video is the fact that I still had all the stuff out. I didn't do a video on it yesterday because I think altogether I put about 9 hours on it.
It was very tedious.
Yeah, well, and you know, there's people coming and going and you're trying to do it in between jobs, and just as you start the camera, somebody comes in. So anyway, what I did is I took a bunch of old stuff I had laying around and I just made up a hose. Oh, yeah. And of course, the end of it fit a standard spark plug. So what I had to do was go get another old plug of that size, and I beat the porcelain out of it. Then I re-tapped it to fit this adapter here, and I screwed this in to each cylinder that I was working on. And I put 120 pounds of air pressure on it. That way when I let the locks go and pull the springs out, the valve stayed up in place because the air pressure had it in place. Now people say that you can feed rope, some small rope down into the cylinder head hole and get the spark plug hole. and bring your piston up, and that will hold. That's a lot of work for me. I want to do it quicker, so. Plus, I'll always have this now, right?
Well, you have to find your own way.
Yes.
Everyone does, right?
Yeah. Now, fellows have said to me, well, they're going to smoke on the left side more so than the right side because the kickstand is on the left side. So when they lean over, oil got a tendency to drip down and get into the cylinder
Yeah,
walls,
that makes
right?
sense.
Well, it do make sense, and I'm not saying that they're wrong, but in this case, ours definitely did smoke more on the left side, but the right side very little. And that was kind of bugging me, you know, because even when I kept it, since we've owned it, I've kept it on its center stand, and I've watched the exhaust in the mornings, and there's even been smoke coming out through the right side. But once it cleared up, it was okay. So I took it for a run a few days ago, and going down over a hill on deceleration, if you have bad valve stem oil seals, you should be able to see smoke coming out the tailpipe.
Oh.
Right, coming down over a hill. I couldn't see it, but then again, you know, like you're trying to look behind you and you're trying to see what's,
Yeah.
you know, so I said, that's not fair. So what I did, I ordered in some valve stem oil seals, and yesterday it told a story, and the story is as follows. Here you go, look, come over.
Lovely assistant.
Yeah. This represents the right side. Now, when we're saying right side, we're talking about sitting on the bike.
Okay.
Okay? This represents the left side. What do you notice different about those
Well, I
seals?
know the left is rusty for one thing.
No, actually that's brown. That's the color of
It is the color?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, that's the
Yep.
color.
Yep.
Center holes look a little bit different.
Yeah.
No.
What's the obvious difference?
Different colors.
Exactly. Why are they different colors?
Because one must have been changed.
Yes. The right side cylinder head must have had work done on it in past.
Because I was
Okay.
thinking that was rust, but it's not the color, so that means they changed it.
So this explains why I wasn't getting a lot of smoke coming out through the right pipe. I was getting a pile coming out through the left because these are the old seals. These are newer seals, although these seals were defective. What happens to these seals is most of the time when you get valve stem oil seals defective is because of the heat, and they get right cruddly and they crack when you push on them. That's not the case here. They're still pliable, not perfect, but still pliable. But what I did notice is when you take these off and you'd shove them over the valve, they were right loose on the valve. So oil was getting past them. So I'm going to insert a picture here. Remind me that I got to insert a picture.
Yes.
And I'll show you. There's be a green one on the right and one of these on the left, and you'll see the difference in the hole in the diameter. It's amazing. So anyway, even though they look like they were replaced, I said I'm going to put a new set in anyway. So we went ahead and we did the 8, and this morning, no blue smoke.
No blue smoke.
Nothing. Nothing.
Oh.
So it worked out perfect. These other seals, well, I had to take the timing belt off it. So what I did is, I said, you know what? I kind of pre-planned for this. Well, if I'm going to do the valve stem oil seal, I know that there's cam seals right there, but in 2 gears, Kathy.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So I said, you know what? I should pop the gears off, the sprockets off, not gears. Just pop the sprockets off, and I'll shove a couple of cam seals in. So I did that as well. Although these weren't leaking, and they were, and they're still very pliable. But who knows how long they've been in there? So I wouldn't risk it. I was there. The timing belts are off. It was a good time to do it. So that worked out quite well. I've seen people online saying that they've taken these valve spring compressors and they've modified them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you see,
Lower down?
uh,
Yeah, we do. That's good.
your hand can't go up.
Well, see, I need something dark or something behind it, but if it's higher, it's in your face.
Huh? Is that right?
Well, I mean,
You don't want to scare the viewer.
don't question it here. I'm the camera lady.
Anyway, so there's really no need of it because these are designed that way because of the shape of the spring. Spring is going to be higher on one end than it will be on the other. What I did find was the problem with these is this is made for an automotive application, such as a truck or a car valve spring, and they're quite bigger. In the bike, they're only, oh my gosh, they're only a little bit bigger around on than your thumb, really. And there's one spring within the other. And what used to happen, I used to put them on like that, and they would slip off.
Yeah.
And slip off. But I found a good remedy for it. And I would put them on, and once I get them pushed in, I put that on there like that. And I just,
Oh.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then when I would get the spring off, what I would do is I would unwind it again, take the spring out there completely, and I'd put the spring back in it, but I'd have it on the end of the spring here and on the end of the spring here, and then I could just shove it on, put the locks in, and I'd be done.
Wow.
So I developed
Your own system.
a system that worked very well, because the first 3 valves with this was brutal. I was trying to put vice grips on it, the clamp, and the vice grips would fall
They would
off.
fall off, yeah.
So I said, there got to be a better way. So I found those clamps there to be perfect for that.
So there's a good tip.
So that's a good tip in itself. The other thing I will tell you about those GL1100s is they got an upper and lower rat hose. One up here on this side, and there's
Just come over here.
a little one here,
Little one
there,
Yeah.
and there's one up here. He starts here and he goes right to here. Now, like here, I find those things are very expensive because you can't buy them.
No.
You have to order them in. So the freight is killer.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you got to get them from eBay. eBay lately, you can buy something for $5 and they'll charge you $33 to ship it.
33 and 40,
It's
48
ridiculous.
bucks. Yeah, it don't
So-
make any sense.
If you go to Napa and you order this hose 7733, you will get exactly those 2 radiator hoses
Oh,
out of that one.
added to one.
Yeah, they got the perfect bends in it.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and that was what, 11 bucks?
I think it's a little bit more than that, but probably around the 20 mark.
That was?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I
Okay.
can't really
I
totally
thought you told me it was
remember.
11.
Or it could be maybe your memory is better than mine.
Yeah? You gotta pause that now, you gotta go find out for me.
Okay.
How much?
We'll have to meet in the middle. 15.
$15. I might have read online 11. I don't remember, but anyway, so it's 15 bucks, that's what we paid. So it's a good value. And I mean, even
you
if
get
you,
2 hoses.
yeah, you get the upper and lower hoses. So you can't go wrong with it, right? So what I do, I have a box that's marked GL1100, and I put all my goodies in there, and like we got clutches and stuff if we need it, because that stuff is getting hard to get now, right? So we have clutches, and there's gaskets, and there's new clutch springs, and you know, so it's nice to have that on hand.
Yeah, you need a little supply box.
Well, especially for us because we're on an island.
I know.
So,
Yeah, you can't get things in quick when you need them.
no, Cybercycle is where we get a lot of it, eh?
Yeah.
Cybercycle, that the name of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty good.
Saber cycle. maybe?
Sabercycle.
Yeah.
Sabercycle, that's the one. So, and we've had some pretty good results with those people. And no, they're not paying
They're
us
not
to say.
endorsing us.
No. So don't go getting your panties
in a
knot.
knot. Hey, great minds think alike.
Right on. So that's just a few tips that I've learned so far on a GL1100. I'll tell you what I am looking for, maybe somebody out there might know for a set. I plan on turning this bike into a bagger.
Bagger.
Yeah, I always said I like to keep it naked, but really naked is not practical.
No?
So I'm going to put a couple of bags right here. Bag here and a bag there. And I'm going to have a picture of this bike, or a bike like this, at the end of the video. And it's going to have the bags that I'm looking for.
Okay.
They're going to be bags for this bike. They're going to be bags like for a 1980 up to an 83, I think.
That's right.
Okay? So that's the type, that's what I have in mind for it anyway. You might never see it, but if I could find a set, I'd surely entertain putting them on. And of course, I got to make some changes to the lighting here as well. Other than that, she's pretty well done. So,
Fabulous.
yeah, bike's safe to use now. It's reliable.
Yeah.
And it runs extremely well. It's running like a timepiece.
It is.
Now, another thing too to keep in mind is when you are doing these bikes, every time that you touch the engine, like with regards to adjusting and stuff, you might want to synchronize the carburetors again.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, this is why this is all out, because it hasn't been cleaned up yet. So that's our sync tool.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll insert a video just to show you how it looked when we finished the bike last evening.
Okay.
And, because when you start, people say, well, what does valve stem oil seals have to do with changing the synchronization of a carburetor? Well, it's not that at all. I had to readjust the tappets. So,
Yeah.
it had 8 tappets that needed to be adjusted. So, if one is off a little bit more than the other, which is not, because I use feeder gauges, 4 thou on the intake, 5 thou on the exhaust.
Mm-hmm.
And so once you start messing with that, there's always a chance that you could throw something out a little bit. And sure enough, it was, but not by much. You could have easily lived with it, but hey, the tool was there.
Yeah.
Do it right. So other than that, that's about it. If we see anything else or any more tips, I couldn't believe how much of a cult following that these bikes have.
Yeah.
Just Google naked GoldWing. It's incredible how many people are trying to keep these old bikes alive.
Nice.
And they truly are a gem to ride. They're a fantastic machine. I've heard people in the same situation that we're in. Oh, well, I have an 1800 and I do this and I do that. But I still like to go back to the old GL1100 or 1200 or whatever. I mean, Don, a good friend of ours from Georgia, he has a GL1500 and he has a beautiful 1100. And I mean, he uses one as equally as the other, so
Nice.
yeah, it's nice. So anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed that. You guys be good to each other. Have a nice day, and we'll see you in the next video. God bless.